From a person who has multiple baby mothers,
Yeah.
multiple children, how have you been able to not take that as a stressing, but a blessing?
I mean, at times it has been stressing. At more times than not, it's been a blessing. But, you know, I remember, man, I just lean back on my own experiences. I can remember, you know, my grandfather, man, light-skinned nigga, curly hair. You know, my grandmother, you know, so you already know, you know, he done made some babies, you know what I mean? So we got me and my sisters, we got our other cousins and stuff. My grandmama was not the biological grandmother of all his grandkids, man. Then none of that shit mattered. What mattered to us is these children, to my grandparents, is these children, no one. So my grandfather told us, you don't need friends, that's what you got cousins for. I still talk to my cousin Lamar on a bi-weekly basis. Like, hey, how you doing? Cousin, I'm just checking on you. You know what I mean? I just want to see how you doing. Because we all slept on that floor on Collier Drive together.
Yes, sir.
They made a big pallet. Everybody slept on the floor together. We got up. So I don't understand the concept of when people say, well, you're creating broken homes, things of that nature. If you going by the Western archetype, if you going by the Western Christian archetype, absolutely. But if you going by, man, Bessemer, Alabama, Macon, Georgia, North Florida, South Georgia, shit me, I know some niggas with 3-4 families. And all the children turned out to be successful. You know, and that's something that we don't like to hear, don't make us comfortable. But Shahrazad Ali said it years ago. She was like, you know, say you ain't got to give a black man permission to have another woman. Say they been doing that. My thing is, do those children say, I love and respect my father? Are those women loved and respected and protected? You know, I don't have to have sex with the mothers of my children, but boy, ain't no car nose late. You know, and I'm not talking about just me. Again, I'm wearing this. I'm talking this. I know some niggas work for waterworks that they children mama's not worried. You get what I'm saying? Yes, so for me, if you're a man and you've made these children now, you know this is not the perfect environment or whatever you and this woman might be having between y'all insecurities and egos. But you know if you guys cooperate and collaborate, these children grow up better. I got friends that are of other religions and ethnicities. Some of them are black people. The ones that I've seen be involved in, you know, stranger relationships, people might not understand, whether it be polygamy or polyamory or whatever, however they pronounced it. A lot of their children go to school on college for free. And I'm just the kids, some of the kids, like, man, a lot of kids I see go to these schools that are prominent here in Atlanta, 2-parent household, the parents kept it square all the way through. The parents still got to be after that, they got to pay for college too. Yeah. Well, where's all this? You know, where's the investment? My thing is ultimately, what's gonna give us good children? I can't take back what I've had. I saw somebody reviewing my album, the newest one, and it was saying, yo, I don't have any children. It's like he's bragging, because I said had children by multiple women, lived multiple lives. You know, I treat them like multiple wives. Important they see that they was much more than just my baby mamas. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying still treat them with pride, still treat them with honor. Important to me that they see that they was much more than just my baby mamas. The 3 women that gave me children are not my baby's mothers. These are queens in my eyes. These are empresses. Even the days where we have not gotten along, you have given me the most important gift any human being could have given me, in giving me these human beings. So I don't care how people view it. I don't care how people view the function. I don't care if people, you call it a broken home, I buy y'all asses homes all on the same street next to each other then. I do that shit like Bill on Big Love. Everybody have a goddamn house and share the same backyard. But you're not gonna tell me, because I grew up in the crack era. I grew up with kids who were growing up in foster care. I know people who don't even know their fathers. I know people who don't know their fathers and mothers because of drug use and stuff. So you can't tell me that because it's not the Christian Western ideal, that somehow, because what about the brothers that's Muslim? That might have 3 or 4 wives.
Yes, sir.
Their children seem to be more disciplined. What about the Pentecostal folks that have a bunch of kids? They say you ain't supposed to have a bunch of kids. Pentecostal folks might have 8, 9, 10 kids. They bring a whole goddamn band to church.
Watch out.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But what are you putting into these children from a moral standpoint?
Yes, sir.
You know, what are you putting into these children in terms of functioning on a high vibration or whatever they're saying? My thing is, can I raise independent human beings who are not going to be dependent on others, who are going to be of good moral, sound structure, and going to have integrity, and follow the 3 rules my granddaddy gave me. Take care of yourself and take care of your siblings. Don't embarrass me in your mama's name, and don't embarrass colored folk. So if I can just live a life like that, where I'm not an embarrassment to black people, I have not embarrassed my own name and my grandparents' name, and I've not embarrassed myself, and I've managed to help take care of myself and my sisters, and I've lived a life worthy, because ultimately here's the only opinion that matters. You know, I respect therapists. I talk to mine. Some of the things they say are cool. Some of the things I'm like, well, that's hogwash. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm all for men having sensitivity, but nigga, you can't sit around and cry every day.
Yeah.
My grandfather died 20 years ago. My sister, my youngest sister, walked up behind me. She put her hands on my shoulder. She said, well, get it all out now, because tomorrow you're the leader of this family. I wasn't prepared to lead no family 20 years ago. It took me 20 years how to figure this shit out. But now that I have it figured out, the same sister called me and said, you're doing a good job. I like how you're doing it. You know, I sat down today. My assistant says to me, my executive assistant said to me, she said, make sure I put the executive in here. She says to me, she says, you know, I want you to show Anaya some grace. You know, my oldest daughter, she said, because you be on her, you know what I mean? But it's because when you were on the road so much when she was a child, you didn't get a chance to be everyday father, and you're trying to overcompensate sometimes. So show her some grace. You know, it takes a village, because she's my confidant on a daily basis. She knows how I feel about my daughter. She knows I'm absolutely in love with both my daughters, but she knows that my oldest daughter, it may take her a little longer to catch on to responsibility, because her daddy spoiled her, because her daddy couldn't be there every day, so everything she ever asked for, her daddy was like, well, boom. You know, well, now is the time where it's like, okay, now you have your house, now you have your career, now you have these things. Now you have to be a little more patient, and you have to approach your relationship with her in a different. It's not authoritative now, you know. So you learn, man. But I want to tell all the brothers out there with multiple children, make it your job to make sure that those children are connected beyond you. Not just on your birthday and on Father's Day and on Christmas. Make sure that those children have to get together when you're not together. My oldest daughter said to me, why haven't we went to my granddaddy Mike's family reunion? I said, well, I'm always on tour. I say, but this year I got something for you. I sent their ass in the car all together. They say, but Daddy, we don't know nobody. I said, good. By the time you leave, you'll know everybody.
Yeah, know everybody. Dad. You'll know what they like, what they don't like.
Absolutely.
What they vice.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I think that clip, right, that did go viral.
Yeah.
And it's creating these different seasonal words. You know, every season it's a new...
Yeah, toxic and all this other shit.
Low vibration.
Yeah.
High function. What they say, what was the LeBron one and Bronny James? Shucks, man, when they said Bronny.
What was the nepotism?
Nepotism.
Yeah, you said nepotism is as American as can be. We love it when it's the Kennedys.
Come on, man.
We love, yeah, why wouldn't you want nepotism?
All these words for certain seasons, but I would say to this, right? I think when it was said to me, you don't know my situation. You can kind of look at the cover and be like, oh, that's a typical situation, but I'm not your prototypical type of nigga.
Yeah, you're not.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that my whole focus, if you call my baby mama Kia right now and you ask her what my New Year's resolution was and is, and if you can ask my girl, Jazz, you ask her what my New Year's resolution is. I wanted to build my relationship and co-parenting with all my baby mamas.
That's beautiful.
You see what I'm saying? And it be respectful.
Yeah.
So even if we're not having sex, even if we can still co-parent at a high realm, because I would hate for any of my baby mothers to describe me as, you acting like your daddy.
Yeah.
Gone now, gone. Nah, I want that to be love. Even if it's the week or the day that I don't supposed to have my kids, if I say, hey man, I want to take them to a high school football game, or I want to take them to the Panthers game or the Falcons game or the Braves game or the Hawks game, you know what I'm saying?
You should listen to my music more. It's probably built for you.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Right.
I said I once had 3 women live multiple lives.
Like, come on, bro. I'm here with, so it's so relatable.
Yeah.
To, especially for me, knowing that it's not a conventional situation, it's unconventional, but I make it perfect for what it is.
I mean, but you know, my thing is, man, Ted Turner, man, is one of the greatest Atlanteans ever.
Mm-hmm.
He's an absolutely amazing human being, and he was a maverick. He was wild as could be.
Yeah.
Lived one of the most exciting, badass lives ever. You don't hear him getting the same critique. You know what I mean? Eddie Murphy, Eddie got, 10, 11 kids. You never hear him getting the same critique. It seems to be...
Hold on. I'll give you another one. Tom Brady.
Oh, man, shouts out to Brady. Yeah, shouts out to Thomas, man.
Thomas.
You'll get mad at Thomas. I think that the more private you keep your personal life, the better for the children.
Right.
And, ultimately, people can have their opinions on your situations based on what their egos and insecurities.
Correct.
Or real thoughts and beliefs, like from a moral or integrity standpoint. But I remember being young when I finally got outside of my neighborhood and outside of just Black Atlanta and started organizing with kids who were white, who were other ethnicities and stuff. A lot of them who grew up in strictly two-parent households, man, it was a weird occurrence because they didn't like their parents. And they didn't have any way to express, or so they just turned into all type of rebellion. I remember the first time I met some of my friends whose parents were in arranged marriages. I thought their parents were some of the most loving people, just loved each other. Their parents didn't even know each other before they were married. But they figured out learning and loving one another and raising successful human beings. So I just say there is no cookie cutter. Overall, society states one man, one woman, multiple children. That's the way.
The government
says. So that's what I mean by society. And that's the way. And okay, I get it. But ultimately, whatever circumstance these children are in, they're here now.
Yes, sir.
And it's going to take a village of people. And I just like to encourage the sisters who I've seen, because man, so many Black women have been pushed to a place of insecurity and ego that it's a shame. I just want to say, man, just thank you guys for cooperating and collaborating and making sure these children know one another. Thank you guys for the cooperation and collaboration and make sure these children see each other as siblings, because, if it's not for that connectivity, we'd be lost. And there are more mothers that do that than not. And I think a lot of times we get caught up in this pornography of pain cycle, where it has to be pain, it has to be argument, and it's almost like pornographic in our nature and wanting that. Like, you can see the comments on, girl, I would never. And then you go to this page like, you don't have a man, you're commenting on something that you would never because you could never. And I remember seeing.
Never have I ever.
Yeah, and there's no disrespect to the sisters, but it's like, you don't know what you can do when it's about a child. There's a story of Solomon in the Bible, and Solomon's a wise Hebrew king, and two women come before him. It's before, DNA test. They say, man, this is my child. And Solomon then like, how am I gonna know who child this is? Both of them probably dark women, this little dark baby. Who baby this is? And Solomon said, well, cut the baby in half, give each half. And the real mother say, no. Let you raise that child. I don't want my child to die, And I think that there's a segment in our community, man, when my grandmother had all of my grandpa's kids in our house, man, that showed me like there's an absence of ego and insecurity there. She wanted to make sure we know each other. My grandparents dead now. We still talk. We still love one another. We still pop up on each other. We went to my youngest, my grandfather's youngest sister's funeral. My aunt was right there with us, you know what I mean? So my thing is, we got to put our ego to the side. The kid's here now. I can't. If I am a bad father, if I did create the most, most toxic, then we gotta. It takes snake venom to create an antidote. So it's gonna take that same man that got us here. Is gonna take to lead us out, and that's just what it is.
I just hate that we act like this is something new, and some would say, well, somebody got to break this curse.
Nah, I ain't
you dig what I'm saying? Man, this has been around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
and I just feel like, yo, bro, when it happens, then what you gonna do? Like, we grown. Like, man, you put a man and you put a woman in fellowship for a year.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, I don't give a damn how fat, how ugly, how this, how that. Sooner or later, you're gonna start seeing all the beautiful things about this particular person.
Well, men will. Women will hold out on you for sure.